Okay, let's take a look, Abhidhamma, see where did we stop? Well, basically, please take a look. We are in the chapter number 4, Vitti Sangaha. Okay, we'll try to do a little bit of recap. What does it mean, Vitti Sangaha? Chapter number 4. Basically, once we talk about the Vitti Sangaha, meaning to say that we try to explain a due order of the consciousness, because according to Abhidhamma, when we hear, we see, we smell, or when we try to think, everything, it comes in an order with a series of a consciousness with a different name. So this is how it comes. It happened in this way. So, in order to study this Vitti Sangha, Vitti, meaning to say that we try to understand how, once we see the thing, how is the process of the mind, and also once the information from the eye retina transmit to our brain, we call it as a mind-door consciousness series. Then we try to understand because the Abhidhamma, everything has been labeled, all the consciousness have been labeled. The reason why we have to study this is because basically our defilement is due to the wrong perception of I. So where do we have the wrong perception of I? Either it's from the physical body or in our mentality. So basically in mentality, what we feel, you see, now you are seeing me, I seeing you. You hear my voice, just now we have a conversation. For us, everything is very real one. But if let's say we're able to attain the jhana, we try to use the jhana perspective to see everything back, meaning we notice that all actually is come from the concrete movement, the concrete of the physical body and the mentality. Actually, it is composed by a small moment, and the body from a small particle, and the mentality is from one of many of the small consciousness to form to the to get a real thing. Just like in ancient times, remember, once we watch the movie, actually it's come from the film. The film actually is come from one segment. But due to all the segments all linked together and run very fast, then you will see something is very real, you see. But actually it's come from every single segment to combine and run in the smooth way. We do the same thing. So by studying this, we try to understand actually every single segment of a consciousness. But understand this, hopefully one day, since you understand that all all is actually is illusion, then we would not have a greedy hatred, stupidity over all these illusion things. Like you see the film, you see once the film run very fast, it's very interesting, because the sound it become a music and we see the people is moving. But if let's say we see one segment by one segment of the film, it is not interesting. We wouldn't have, we don't feel any interested in it. So meaning to say it's the same, once we're able to analyze our physical body and the mentality to the small particle and segment, we won't attach to it anymore. So this is the purpose why we want to study the Vitti. Let's take a look, you see. So now, well, basically this is a definition which says the dual order occurrence of a consciousness, birth and rebirth linking during the course of existence according to the plane and the individual. All right. So if you remember that we talk about the in cognitive process, we involve base, store, object, consciousness, sixth process, and the presentation of the object. Okay. And then we talk about that sometimes we name it as a sixth cognitive process. Sometimes we name it as a mind consciousness process. Okay, so basically they involve, for example, in the eye, we must be involved eye sensitivity, the nerve system, okay, and then we must have an object, we must have a light, and we must have attention so that the idle process can happen. Okay, and then next, now we talk about the sixfold presentation of the object. So meaning to say that objects can be very great, slight, and very slight. Well, this is very important because if let's say in our mind though, the object come is very great. We should say in this way. If it is come in a very great, meaning to say the impact is very great and great, that will create a karma, and there will have some, there will be some signal trace live in our mind or in our brain. If let's say the impact is very small, very minor, for example, like today you go to Lapak or those days, you see so many people, but this, since the impact is very small, then they are not impressive. But if let's say, okay, you do the wrong parking, you have to be penalized for $100, then you can remember the police very well. That is the great impact. See or not? So we need to say that for the cognitive process, we try to learn the impact of the object is very important for the $5. If it's the mind door, just only great and slight only. Okay. Now we go to the $5 process. We go to the very great. You see or not? So in the very great one, you see this is the very great one. Basically, we have to try to memorize a little bit. There will be 14 of the process. Is begin from what you see is a $5 everything, I consciousness, receiving, investigate, determining, jhana, registration, and then the stream of the bhavanga. How do we understand this? Class, okay, remember that for this, the $5 consciousness, meaning to say that you can try to understand once you see the object will reflect in the retina. So how do we understand this? In the simple way is, for example, in the very beginning, we are not active or we are not in the seeing process. So we call it as in the past bhavanga, in the stream of the bhavanga. How to understand it? You can understand this, that all the bhavanga, just like what our stem brain acting, during you sleep very deeply, then all the consciousness stop. But your stem brain, it doesn't stop. Because the stem brain stop, meaning to say the respiration will stop and the path will stop, or the uncontrollable system will be stopped. So you can try to understand in that way. The stem brain is the major organ to support the bhavanga. Okay, once you start to see the thing, okay, so you won't notice the activity of the bhavanga anymore. Immediately you start to see. When you start to see class, you see like the object here, then you will begin with the what? $5 everything, because you try to advert to the object you see, then your eye consciousness arises, which is in the retina. Then at that moment you are receiving the object, okay, and then when the receiving this consciousness disappeared, it will pass the information to the investigating, and same investigating will try to investigate the object, then it will disappear and will pass to the determining. From the determining, it come to the jhana 7 moment. So jhana, if they notice that this is very good object, you attach to it, you will create a karma on it. Then later on, since this is a very great impact, there will be some registration. We try to register the karma in the bhavanga. And then we go back to the stream of bhavanga. So this is the moment we study in our previous lesson, and then we stop here. They say, to this extent, 17 mind movements are completed, 14 of the process consciousness. This object is very great. Okay. So we continue. But before we continue, can you try to repeat the 5 door? Begin from the this 17 this 7 consciousness can you repeat 3 times for me? Okay, please. Because later on we have to use all these terminologies. You can start now. Repeat 3 times, or if you can memorize it, that will be the best. Okay. Yeah, raise hand please once you finish. Okay, finish. So we continue. Okay. Yes, we go to the guide, the duration of material phenomena. Elena, please, can you please read the passage?
The duration of phenomena. The lifespan of a chitta is termed in the Abhidhamma a mind moment, chitta kana. This is a temporal unit of such brief duration that, according to the commentators, in the time that it takes for lightning to flash or the eyes to blink, billions of mind moments can elapse. Nevertheless, though seemingly infinitesimal, each mind moment in turn consists of three sub-moments: arising, upada; presence, th; dissolution, banga. Within the breath of a mind moment, a chitta arises, performs its momentary function, and then dissolves, conditioning the next chitta in immediate succession. Thus, through the sequence of mind moments, the flow of consciousness continues, uninterrupted like the waters in a stream. Some commentators, such as Acharya Ananda, author of the Mulatika to the Abhidhamma-pitaka, reject the sub-moment of presence in relation to mental phenomena, appealing for support to the Chitta Yamaka chapter of the Yamaka, which speaks only of the arising moment and dissolution moment of consciousness, but not of the presence moment. Acharya Anuradha, however, does not endorse this position, nor do his commentators. The Vibhavini points out that the sub-moment of presence is a stage in the occurrence of a Dhamma separate from the stages of arising and dissolution, during which the Dhamma stands facing its own dissolution. Ledi Sayadaw regards the moment of the presence as the midpoint between two phases of arising and falling. Just as when a stone is thrown upwards, a moment is needed before it starts falling downwards. He also says that the present moment can be taken to cover the entire lifespan of a Dhamma between the first point of its arising and the end of its falling away. Many commentators take the present moment to be implied by the Buddha's statement. There are three conditions characteristic of the condition: arising, passing away, and the alteration of that which stands. Here, the presence moment is identified with the alteration of that which stands. Material phenomena as well pass through the same three stages of arising, presence, and dissolution. But for them, the time required for these three stages to elapse is equal to the time it takes for 17 chittas to arise and perish. The stages of arising and dissolution are equal in duration for both material and mental phenomena. But in the case of material phenomena, the stage of presence is equal to 49 sub-moments of mental phenomena.
Okay, thank you so much. Sally,
Thank
are you using handphone? Are you using handphone now? Yes. So I have to magnify the words as big as possible until the blind people also can see, right? Elena, we pronounce as Lady Siado. Okay, Siado. Okay, class, let's take a look. So the whole paragraph is mentioned that is one eye blink. Actually, it will be billions of the consciousness rise and fall, rise and fall. Okay, and then according to the abhidhamma, usually there will be 3 moments involved for all the consciousness. Okay, basically the first one, okay, we call it as arising, then presence, then dissolution. 3 moments involved. Okay, and then once one consciousness perform, then the other next one we once it's dissolved, it will conditioning the next chitta in the immediate cessation. And then the whole consciousness continue uninterrupted like water in the rivers. That's why sometimes we describe our consciousness just like a stream of the water, because one consciousness arises, pass away, another consciousness arises and dissolve, and next consciousness arise. So it's just like a stream only. Okay, but the next paragraph, the controversy, we ignore it because the abhidhamma itself is enough, make you hate it already. So we don't want to add in some more controversy issue. Please just put pangka there. Once you really master the important thing, then you go to see the controversy. Usually after the controversy, heavy debate, you go back to the square only. Nothing much usually. And then what is the other point after the controversy? It mentioned that basically the material will also take the 3 stages, meaning to say arising, sustain, and dissolve. It's the same, but it is much more slower than our mentality. So class, take a look. You see, basically we mentioned that there will be 17 moment, right? Just now, usually will be 17 moment. Okay, for every moment times 3, how many in total? Please calculate for me. 17 times 3. How many?
51.
Yeah, 51. Okay, let's take a look. Here is the 51, right? So for the materiality, we say one materiality rise, sustain, dissolve is equal to the 17 of the consciousness. Okay, so 17 consciousness, in the simple way, we have 51 little moment. Okay, so one moment is the rise, and then the last moment is the dissolve. So how is the sustain? How many little moment for the sustain, for the sustainable? 52, 51 minus 2 equals to? Can you on the mic?
49.
Yes, let's take a look. So this is how you get the 49 here. 49 sub-moment. Can you follow? Can you follow? You see, the reason is why the material is much more slower than the mentality. That's why during the vipassana, we prefer observe the object, physical body first. Because the slower one, right? So we will try to observe the materiality first. Once after observing the materiality, then we shift to observe the mentality, because that one is a much more faster. Okay, so you get it? Okay. So next, 3 more paragraph. Yes, Sally, can you please read the passage? The 5 sense object enter, please.
The five sense objects enter at the stage of presence. The 5 sense objects, visible form, etc., are material phenomena and thus endure for 17 flying moments. Since the sense object is still weak at the sub-moment of arising, it can enter the avenue of sense only when it reaches the stage of presence. Therefore, if a visible form is an object, etc., when no active cognitive process is taking place, the bhavanga flows on as a series of chittas, all of the same type, hanging onto a single object whether a karma or sign of karma or a sign of destiny. The same as the object of the last jhavana process in the immediately preceding existence. At the very moment of a sense object enters a sense door, one Bhavanga Chitta passes, Bhavanga Chitta passes known as Atita Bhavanga, the past life continuum. Then another two Bhavanga Chittas vibrate owing to the impact of the object, the second interrupting the stream of the Bhavanga. In the sub-commentaries, these are distinguished as Bhavanga Chalana, vibrational life continuum, and Bhavanga Upachitta, a rest life continuum. Thereafter, with the rising of the five door averting chitta, the stream of consciousness emerges from the processed freed state and launches into a cognitive process, Vittipata. The 29 sense sphere jhavanas, that is, 12 unwholesome types, 8 of each of the great wholesome and great functional types, and the functional smile-producing chitta. Only one type of chitta runs for all 7 occasions of the jhavana process. This object is called very great. In the process of a very great object, the object arises simultaneously with the arising of sub-moments of Atita Bhavanga. Since the sense object and the sensitive matter of the sense organs both have a duration of 17 mind moments, they both perish simultaneously with the second registration chitta. Thus, this kind of cognitive process runs for a full 17 mind moments, of which 14 chittas beginning with the 5 door averting chitta are considered process chitta proper. This cognitive process is also known as the Tattaramanavara, a cause ending with registration. The connection of the cognitive process described in the text with the 660s may be understood as follows. When a visible form impinges on the eye sensitivity, then supported by the eye base, there arises an eye consciousness taking as an object the visible form that has impinged on the eye. For the eye consciousness, the eye sensitivity is the base and the door. Visible form is the object. The other chittas in the process, the 5 door averting, the receiving, investigating, and determining consciousness, the jhavanas and registration are states of mind consciousness. They take the same visible form as object and eye sensitivity as door, but they arise with the support of heart base. For all the chittas in the process, the bhavanga is also considered a door. Since the entire process emerges from the bhavanga, thus all sense door processes are considered to have 2 doors. The material sensitivity as a differentiating door and the mind door or bhavanga as a common door. Because it has arisen specifically in the eye door, this process is called the eye door process. And because it's distinguished by eye consciousness, it is also called the eye consciousness process. Since it has arisen with a very powerful object, capable of impinging on the sense faculty, only after one mind moment has passed is called a process with a very great object. The cognitive process, in the other sense, may be understood accordingly with the necessary substitutions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The constructions is the progress. Do you hear the sound?
Yes.
I try to close out, a little bit disturbing. You should complain then. Yeah, Sally. After the complaint, we ask for indemnity or ask for compensation. Which one
Both.
is more accurate?
Both.
Both is correct.
You indemnify not to do it. You have already suffered, so you compensate.
Okay, finish. Okay, so let's take a look. So actually, all have been mentioned before. So we just go according to the text. See, okay, say if there is a visible form of as an object, say when no active connective process taking place, the bhavanga flow. See or not? So let me try to go back to the diagram. Okay, list of the table. We go to the chapter number 4, 155. Okay, 155. Let's take a look. This is the table. Okay, 155. See or not? Okay, so meaning to say that if let's say according to the text, it say if let's say no active connective, so bhavanga flow. Meaning to say, you see, this is how the bhavanga is flowing. You see or not? Bhavanga is just flowing. So you just consider that is the stem brain is doing the thing lah. Once you go to a very deep sleep, you see in the class, even though you go to a very deep sleep, but you still awaken, you're still alive. Compared with the stone. The stone will never be awakened because it doesn't have a bhavanga to support it. But as a human, we got a bhavanga to support it. Bhavanga is a resultant of resulting consciousness. So simple, easy, you can see as a stem brain. Because once the malfunction of the stem brain, we consider die. See or not? Then next, let's take a look. But now we start have something to impinge on it. See or not? You say. So you see, according to here, you see, once there will be some object hanging. You see, the bhavanga flow. Then they say hanging on to a single object, either karma, a side of karma, or a side of destiny. What does that mean? Class, basically, this is the bhavanga. They are having some object. What object they are having? Class, take a look. We have to understand in this way. So according to this, all the ABC actually is in the Pali terms. Okay. So this is our past life. Take a look. C means the Juti. Then P means Patisanti, means the rebirth. Okay. So this is the past life, the last moment of the Juti. Okay. Then this two is a Tatramana, we call registration. J means the Javana. So according to the Abhidhamma, the last moment we die, this is the last, the mental consciousness before we die. And this, and in this process, we notice that we will be total 5 Javana here. And usually the 5 Javana will appear some object to let us know that where are we going, where will we rebirth, see not? So meaning to say that like 3 of us we become the human. Meaning to say that in our past life, the 5 moments, usually the object must be the good one. For example, if we use to go to the temple, maybe we stay at the Buddha statue. If you always do the pindabat, maybe you do the dana, maybe you see the monk, or maybe you will see the Buddha statue, or maybe you will see the temple. So usually in our javana, our past life, usually the object is this type of object. So in the next life, we become the human. Okay, once you see not, once we rebirth, become the human. But for this Pia Patisanti, we carry the same object for the past life. That's what it mentioned here. See or not? So you say hanging on the object, either it's a karma, side of karma, or a side of destiny. So for us, 3 of us, we are the human. So the side of karma is supposed to be one thing lah, or maybe it's a bowl, maybe it's a temple. Okay, then he said, you see, same object of the last javana process. So as we mentioned here, last javana process. Okay. Then next, he said, at the very moment a sense object enter a sense door. So the past life continuum we know as Ati Bhavanga. Class, let's take a look. This is the Ati Bhavanga. Ati Bhavanga, let's see. AB, you see di bawangka. It's a past life continuum. Once the object start to, to impinge it, okay, to impinge it, then he say, we have two more bawangka chitta vibrate. That's we call it as a vibrational life continuum or a rest life continuum. So bawangka chelana and bawangka upacheta. So let's take a look. So this is, we call it as a bawangka chelana, bawangka upacheta. Maybe the best, I should go back to this diagram. See or not? You see, a rest bawangka, okay, vibrational bawangka and a rest bawangka. These two moments start. Then after this, where should we go? He said. Then after these two, 5-dot everything chitta start already. Okay, 5-dot everything. You see, this is the 5-dot everything. Once the 5-dot everything, meaning to say that you are from the free connective, go to the connective process. Free connective, what means what? Once basically a free connective will happen only for 3 moments. One is the moment you rebirth, the moment you die, or during the flow of the bawangka. So this will be called as a free connective because all the sense door, all the 5 sense door doesn't involve. So that's mean we call it as a five connective, a free connective. But once we start to hear something or see something that impinge the door, we will from the free connective go to the connective. And how it start? It start from here. Let's take a look. So meaning to say that it's going to start from this, you say, go to the connective process. Okay, basically we have a 29 sense sphere jhawana. It go back to in the front basic we have a 12 unwholesome type. So remember the 12 unwholesome type, meaning to say the 8 greedy, 2 hatred, and 2 stupidity. Do you remember? Yes, Elena without any facial expression. Okay, you have to go back to chapter 1. There is a 12 unconscious, unwholesome type. Okay, so in order to make you know something, let's go back to the diagram. You see, this is okay. Chitta Chatasika in the glance. Let me look for you, Elena. 89 chitta. You can use this diagram. 89 chitta. So this is the 12 unwholesome. Let's take a look. It's in the chapter number 1. You see, remember this diagram? I think you print it out. You see, 12 unwholesome is this 12. Okay, Elena, can you get this diagram from somewhere? Have you ever printed out before, Elena? Okay, so this is the 12. You see not? The 12 is here. And next, let's take a look. You see, you say, and then you say, each of the great wholesome and great functional. Okay, each, you see, meaning to say here is the great functional. Here is this, the 8 one. Okay, 8 great. Here is we got totally 8 great here. 31 to 38. 8 great. And then you say 8 functional. Here is the 8 functional here. Okay, do you see the 8 functional here? Okay, 8 great and 8 functional. Then next, let's take a look. You see or not? You see, and the functional smile producing chitta. Here is the functional smile producing. Here is it. Functional smile producing. Here, this is the one. Functional smile producing. Where is it? Let me check. You see, number 13, functional smile producing. Number 30. Okay. Okay, then we get it already. 29. Once the object mean is very great, stay with it. 17. My moment. Let's take a look. Do you see 17 here, class? 17. My moment. Okay. And then next is what? Actually, there will be 14 chitta really working. I mean, it's considered the cognitive process. 14, begin with the 5-door everything. So class, this is the 5-door everything. See? From here we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So from here onwards is considered cognitive process. The 14 out of 17. See or not? 14 out of 17. And then next you say, once we talk about the 6 sixes, it means what? You see, it begins when a visible form impinge on the eye sensitivity, like this diagram, class. See or not? For example, okay, now you see, this is the colorful plate impinge, okay, the eye, all right. So what will happening, you say? Okay, impinge the eye sensitivity, support by the eye base. Eye base mean what? Mean our nerve, okay, and then arise the eye consciousness taking as the object. So this will be the eye consciousness taking as the object. And then next is what? You say, the eye sensitivity is the base and the door. Class, basically the retina show as the base. Base mean the physical, so to support the rises of the consciousness. And the door also. Door meaning to say it's the channel so that our consciousness can communicate with the external. That is the door. So meaning to say in our nerve system, in Abhidhamma perspective, it serves as both door and the base. Okay, so this is how we know. And then next, you see, it comes to all the consciousness, you see or not? A final everything, receiving investigation, as we mentioned before. You see, for all these consciousness, it takes the same visible form as object. Meaning to say that they are taking the same object here. They are taking the same object here. All the objects are the same. And then next, all the objects are the same. Then you say, but they arise with the support of the heart base. How do they arise? Support of the heart base. What does it mean, support of the heart base? Heart base, according to the Abhidhamma, it could be from the heart base. So meaning to say, a lot of mental consciousness is come from with the support of the heart base. So let me check first. Arise, but they arise with the support of heart base. Okay, as though, but they arise with the support of the heart base. Okay, But sometimes the heart base could be interpreted as the brain or soul. So please, heart base, just circle and write the words brain in the modern day. And they say, for all the chitta in the process, the bhavanga is also considered a door. Okay, so the entire process emerges from the bhavanga. So we got 2 doors. One door is the bhavanga itself, is the door. Second is the eye door itself. So we said we totally got 2 doors. Okay. So class, can you imagine that? Meaning to say that if let's say you do nothing, okay, you just close your eye, okay, including you don't have restless minds, but you are still alive. So meaning to say your bhavanga is flowing. As we say, our stand brain is active all the time. But once we hear the sound, okay, the sound we hear, okay, so the bhavanga process will stop temporarily. And then we will divert, we're hearing the sound, impinge our ear door, and from here, you start to go to the brain and the nerve. So here we call it the mind door. From the 5-door cognitive process, go to the ear door cognitive process. You have to understand in this way. If you don't understand, if I don't try to explain in this way, everything is very blur because all is the concept. You see, it's a mentality. Then you don't know how to connect it, and then all is the terminology, all is the definition a lot. Then you don't know. Okay, we have a good example for you to try to connect everything in the next paragraph. Elena, please, the ancient Abhidhamma, ancient teacher of Abhidhamma, please read it.
The ancient teachers of the Abhidhamma illustrate the cognitive process occurring in the sense doors with the simile of the mango. A certain man with his head covered went to sleep at the foot of a fruiting mango tree. When a ripe mango loosened from the stalk, fell to the ground, grazing his ear. Awakened by the sound, he opened his eyes and looked. Then he stretched out his hand, took the fruit, squeezed it, and smelled it. Having done so, he ate the mango, swallowed it, appreciating its taste, and then went back to sleep. Here, the time of the man's sleeping at the foot of the mango tree is like the time when the bhavanga is occurring. The instant of the ripe mango falling from its stalk, grazing his ears, is like the instant of the object striking one of the sense organs. For instance, the eye. The time of awaking through the sound is like that of the five-door averting consciousness turning towards the object. The time of the man opening his eyes and looking is like eye consciousness accomplishing its function of seeing. This time, the stretching out of his hand and taking the mango is like that of the receiving consciousness receiving the object. The time of squeezing the fruit is like that of the investigating consciousness investigating the object. The time of smelling the mango is like that of the determining consciousness determining the object. The time of eating the mango is like that of a javana experiencing the flavor of the object, then swallowing the fruit while appreciating its taste is like the registration consciousness taking place, taking the same object as the javana phase, and the man's going back to sleep is like the subsidence back into the bhavanga. It should be noted that the entire cognitive process occurs without any self or subject behind it as an enduring experiencer or inner controller, a knower, outside the scope of the process itself. The momentary citta themselves exercise all the functions by cognitive, and the unity of the cognitive act derives from their coordination through laws of conditional connectedness. Within the cognitive process, each citta comes into being in accordance with the lawful order of consciousness. It arises in dependence on a variety of conditions, including the preceding cittas, the object, a door, and a physical base. Having arisen, it performs its own unique function within the process, and then it dissolves, becoming a condition of the next citta.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's try to digest the whole thing. I think you get the idea already regards after this terminology. Okay, finish. Okay, so let's take a look. This is the example how to make us more easy to understand. So class, let's take a look, you see. For example, now you are sleeping, so you are considered in the vibrational bhavanga, okay? Then suddenly the mango fell down, then you start to disturbed by the sound already. You start to awaken. So we say this is a 5-door wording. Then you open, then you see the mango fall. Then you try to use your hand to hold the mango. It call it as consciousness. Okay. And then you could try to squeeze it. It's a receiving. And you try to investigate. You smell the mango. Okay, it's investigating. All right. Then you try to eat the mango. Then it's the jhana. Okay, and then the jhana, then you swallow it. Okay, so can you tell me from the disturbing of the sound until you finish eating and go to the stomach, which one process is most powerful and determining? Is most important? Sally, which section from awakened by the mango, then you smell it. You press it, you squeeze it, and eat it, and then go to the stomach. Which one is the most crucial for the process?
I would think it is the eating.
Yes,
the tasting.
That is the jhana. You see, it's a good example, right? So for example, we know that eating actually is the jhana. So that is the most important process. Okay, so from here, the whole the Simao is saying the same thing. Okay, so no need to say it already, since you can answer already. See or not? Why we have to do all the thing? Because we want to prove that the whole cognitive process, there's no self behind it. Actually, there's no somebody. You don't find somebody from the whole process. There's nobody. All is the consciousness arise one by one, one by one, one by one, and they perform their own function according to the law of the nature. And once the previous dissolve, and he will lift the object to the next one to rise again. So meaning to say, there's no somebody control behind, and this process itself is nobody. So meaning to say that that is the no self for the whole process. That is the gist of the abhidhamma. So Elena and Sally, once you meditate, you go to nimitta. If you go to join the meditation course, you use the nimitta to shine on the process. Because here, now what you see, for you are using your eye to see the thing. You found that the eye seeing the object, and the object reflect in the mind, everything is so real. And then since it's so real, but according to the Dharma, we are seeing this thing with the ignorance and the michatiti, are in the wrong view. Actually, this is not clean. I mean, this is not pure. Actually, this is anicca dukkha anatta. So by using the vipassana, we go to see the thing, then we will magnify it, and then you will see that actually it's formed by all the kalapa. So that is why the purpose we want to learn the vipassana. So you see, for example, if you're able to analyze the mentality like the whole process, do you think we will attach to anything? No, right? You won't attach because there's no self actually. But for our perception, we always think that there will be somebody to experience something. But here the Dharma tell you, actually nobody experiences the same thing. The somebody like we feel what we thought is ourselves is a wrong view. It's ignorance. It's the production of the ignorance. But you can only break it through the vipassana. See or not? Class. So that is the purpose why we learn the abhidhamma. So you get the whole concept. But I think this type of meditation skill is still more common is in the Myanmar. Myanmar, they still they still inherit this method for the vipassana. Shall I know, are you interested in it? Do you want to experience it one day? Elena Sally?
I hope I can.
Yes, you should determine for it. You should inspire for it because this type of vipassana actually is with so-called the Nian Fo Famen. Sometimes we Nian Fo, we've got 3 stages. Number 1, we Nian Fo is with the words Amitofo, Amitofo. Then we go to the Nian Fo, in the heart, mind only Nian Fo. That is the samadhi. And last one is the nibbana of a Nian Fo. This is the nibbana of the Nian Fo. You're going to go through the whole process. Then when the nibbana arises, then that is the ultimate of the Nian Fo form. Okay, get it? So you should aim for it because both of you have a good achievement in samadhi. But of course, now Sally is busy in the temple. And Elena busy as a custody. But if one day you're free, you should go to learn a method. That this is method. You know that it really makes sense. Because Amitofo actually just one part of the Buddhism. It cannot become a signature. You will notice that actually this method even more profound for you to really to really feel the Dharma. Even go in more profound and deep. Not just go to somewhere only and do nothing. That's all. Actually, if you go to the Pure Land, I think you still have to do this type of vipassana. You just don't do nothing. This is the skill, you see, very clear for you for the cultivation, you see. And next, let's take a look. So this is what we call it as a very great object. Now we'll go to the great object. But since time's up already, so class, can you do me a little bit revision for me? Because I'm so worried that because last time we didn't do revision, and then I already killed a lot of calculation already. So please, after the class, just do the revision for today for me. It's okay today. What you learn, just go through, then make sure you understand because this is very important. One day you go to do vipassana, you have to equip with this type of knowledge. Just do the revision, and then in the chat room say I finished the revision to motivate Mr. Leong and the other guy for being hardworking Okay, so we transfer the merit for today. So today the Dharma actually is very great. So we know how to understand non-self. I wish to inculcate more favorable consciousness. Through transferring merit. To my past life enemy and relative.
To my past life enemy and my relatives.
May they be liberated.
May they be liberated
and free from suffering.
and free from suffering,
Attain Nibbana
attaining Nirvana,
and helping others to do the same.
and helping others to do the same.
Yeah, Sally, please.
Thank you, Sifu, for the class today, and we pay respects. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Hey, without revision, no dinner. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.